Hello, hello, my real estate friends. Hope your day is going fantastic. Here we are, part five of our five-part little mini series where we're talking all about how we, as real estate agents, can continue to provide value, show up for our past leads, right? Leads that may have left the market because of the costs and things like that. How we can maybe kind of draw them back in. How we could help our current leads that are in the field right now looking to buy property, or even use some of these solutions to lead generate to bring in future leads. How we can do all this with what these higher than what we're used to interest rates. And so in this last little video, I'm going to give you my final solution or a final solution. This is not the be all tell all. Okay. So there's many solutions you can use to kind of help in this current market that we're in. But these are just some ideas that are solutions that I've used in my business that have helped me. And so I'm hoping that they can help you as well. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you in just a minute when we go through that fifth and final little strategy and solution that I have for you. But the first thing I want to do is sort of do a little quick recap on what we have covered this far. So with this, I have my little clipboard today. So in part one, we covered a little bit about mindset, right? And how we as real estate agents, we need to stay in that positive mindset if we expect to sell and be able to provide solutions and strategies to our current leads to help them reach their real estate goals so that we can reach our goal and everybody stays happy, right? So we talked about that, staying in our hot sheets. To be able to see that people are buying and they are selling every single day. We also talked about certain buyers that don't necessarily care about interest rates, right? So we talked about if depending on the market that you're in, depending on where that buyer is coming from, your market may be a quarter of what they're used to paying. It could be a half, a third, whatever it is. They don't necessarily care about the interest rate. If they're getting a better house for a little fraction of what they're used to paying, they're fine with that. All right. So relocation buyers are a good one to remember that not all of them um, care about interest rates. We also looked at the strategy of assumable mortgages. So assumable mortgages are a big one. And listen, some of these assumable mortgages could be as low as 2, 3, 4%. And you might be thinking, well, why would somebody want to give up their loan at that? Well, things happen every day, right? Family problems, relocation for work, whatever the case is, they have to sell the house. They have to let the loan go. And so assumable mortgages could be a really good one. And listen, let me tell you this really quick. I have had this happen to me. If you have a past lead, right, that maybe left the market because it was too expensive, or if you've got a current lead now, or you're just looking at lead generating strategies, and you see a new listing come on the market, and let's say it checks off every single box of something that your past lead really liked, and you think that they would just fall in love with this house, right? I would call the listing agent and I would ask them, hey, has your seller called their bank to see if their loan could be assumed? And if so, what are those terms? Because listen, some of these listing agents don't think about it. The owners don't think about it. The sellers, they don't think about it, right? So if you know that the house is going to check those boxes, and the only little last thing to do is see if there's an option that you can get a better rate, it never hurts to check, right? So it could be, a complete win for everybody just by making that one simple phone call. Then you could go back to that lead and say, hey, I found your dream home and it also has a 4% interest rate. You need to come back on market. Let's go ahead and move forward. And, it definitely can work. I've had it happen myself. Part three, we talked about USDA. And so we know USDA is not going to be in every single market, but I'm going to tell you now, if USDA is in your market and that is something that's kind of, available to you by address specifically, this is 100% what I would be focusing in on if it were me today as of recording. This is what I would be focusing in on and going after. And I would learn everything that there is to learn about it. I would know everything about the loan. Find me a USDA lender in my area, go have lunch with them, pick their brain, ask them about the loan, process, what that looks like, what's the average credit score, like learn everything that you need to know pretty much about that loan, and then get familiar with the market as to what these buyers could buy and what kind of house they could get for that price. You're going to know your average rental in your market. So if the average rent for a 3-bedroom apartment is $2,000 a month, then you need to be trying to target homes, speaking with that lender, and finding a mortgage that's going to kind of sit right about right there. Okay. And that's how you're going to be able to convert them from a renter to a homeowner, going the USDA option. All right. So that is definitely one that I would be focusing on. And I'm going to tell you, my first few years in the business, I was highly, highly successful with targeting first time home buyers and rentals. I had so much success with that. And I'm going to share a little bit more how that happened in just a few minutes. But number 4, part 4, we went through builders and new construction. So here's the deal. If relocation's kind of not your thing, or if you're in a little higher of a market and it's, they're not going to really save by moving to your area, don't worry about that. Don't look at that one. If there's not really much assumable mortgages, or if USDA is not an option, you probably have some builds going on, some new construction going on that you could really target in on. What I would suggest that you do is that you get really good with these communities. Find out what the HOA consists of, how much that costs, what all they get, maybe possibly even what the builder offers. So what is the builder standard versus what is an upgrade that builder is going to charge, and what do those upgrades look like? So I would get really, really good with the builds and the new communities that are out there, and I just really master that, right? So really master your market on that. Okay. And then the fifth one, part 5, and what we're going to talk about today is going to be all about rentals. So I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to get into rentals, and I'm going to tell you how your rental, look, you can use rental properties to not only lead generate for renters, right? But you could actually convert them from renter to buyer. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I'm going to share my screen with you, but let me say this really quick before I do that. All of these are options. Okay. They're all options. They're all solutions. They're not going to work in every single market. They're not going to work in for every single type of real estate agent. But let me tell you this, I wouldn't focus on more than one because what you end up doing is you're all over the place, and you're trying to talk to every different type of buyer. And if you've taken my boot camp with me, you know that there's 17 different types of buyers and sellers, right? And when you try to talk to everybody, you literally reach nobody. And that's just a huge waste of time and money and aggravation and energy. You're going to get burnout. You don't want to do it. All right. So what I would say, let's say that all of these are an option in your market, right? What I would say do is go with the one that you're most attracted to first, right? So let's say that USDA is kind of your thing, and you're real interested in that. Learn everything you can about USDA and focus on USDA. Get really good at it, get really skilled at it. Talk all about it, right? Um, and focus on it for at least, like, I would say a minimum of 4 weeks. If not 3 months, I would say at least 1 month, right? Just that's kind of your thing. Focus in on that. What you focus on expands. That's one of my very favorite quotes. But focus in on USDA if that's going to be what you're going after. And if it works, keep doing it. So if you're lead generating, or if it's working for your leads and you're getting showings and all the stuff, keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Go with whatever works. If you're doing it and it's not working for you, or you're not lead generating from it, try something different, right? So if new construction is going to kind of be your thing, focus on new builds for at least 4 weeks. At least 4 weeks. Get really, really good at it. Master it. Become the master in your market for that one particular type of property, right? So because essentially you're targeting one particular type of buyer, and that's what we want to do. That is working smarter and not harder. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you, because I'm going to share this rental strategy and how I do it, and you can do it too. Okay. So I'm over here. This is actually Flex. So this is, and I've already kind of pulled up one. This is Flex. So this is my listing, MLS listing option in Louisiana. So what I have done is I have just simply searched rental homes in my MLS, and I have searched by city. So kind of like my city where I'm hanging out at, right? So I've searched that. And let's use this particular property right here for an example. Okay. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with 1,800 square feet. It is listed for $2,250 a month. this is what I do. And this is exactly what I would do. This is what I did for many years, and it worked. I was very, very successful with this one simple strategy. Okay. Because look, so many people try to overcomplicate all this stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated. When you literally focus in on one thing that you genuinely enjoy doing and get really, really good at it, the leads just come. Okay. But if you're all over the place and you're all talking to all these other people, you try to talk to everybody, you reach nobody, and that's not what we want to do. All right. So this is how I did it, and this is what I would do. I would look at the rental properties that are in my area, right? Pick a few of them, call the listing agent, ask if they're okay with me promoting the property first and foremost. They say, sure, it sounds good. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to video the home, maybe take some pictures. And then, as far as marketing it, I might run some stuff online, social media posts, and that kind of thing. But then I also very well may run a postcard campaign. Now, where am I sending the postcards? Well, I'm going to jump over to Google and I'm going to look in my area and I'm going to find apartment communities that are, leasing a 3-bedroom apartment for around $2,000 a month. And that's where I'm targeting. So I might very well send postcard mailers to that particular apartment community and say, hey, look, I've got a rental over here for $2,000 a month in this really nice neighborhood. It's got a swimming pool and, all this stuff, right? All these amenities in this community. Contact me for details. They reach out. And this is exactly how it works. Okay. They reach out, whether that be postcard mailer, online, whatever it is, right? So they reach out for information. I set up an appointment. We get things ironed out to where we could actually show them the property, make sure they like it. And we're either going to do a couple of things. So if they like the home and they're like, yeah, I really like it, I want to go ahead and do the application because, I want to move in here. Cool. The first thing I'm probably going to ask them is, well, this home is actually also for sale. And it is. I checked. It is for sale. It's for sale for $400,000. It is in a USDA area. I also checked that. So, but I'm not giving them all that information, but I'm saying, look, this home is also for sale. Have you thought about buying? We can definitely rent it. That's no problem. But have you thought about buying? And and I wait for them to respond. And I'm telling you, when this was kind of my thing, and this is what I was focusing in on, you would not believe the number of people that came to me for a rental property that I would ask that question to, and they simply didn't know they could qualify to buy. They thought it was just, they don't really think about it, right? This is not their sandbox. They don't think about it. But when you simplify things and make it very simple for them, they can relate, they understand, what you're talking about. So when I would ask them this question, they didn't know they could qualify. We'd do a quick pre-qual and they were buying a house. And my first few years in the business, I'm going to be honest with you, I focused on first-time homebuyers and I got really, really good with FHA loans. USDA was not an option in my market. But what I would do is I would go and I would target market where these first-time homebuyers were, and I would ask them, what are you paying in rent? I don't know. They might say 1,100 a month. And I'd say, well, there's a brand new townhome that was just built down the road. It'll give you a whole nother bedroom and you can own it. You can own it for 1,150 a month. They understood that. They knew, everybody knows what a monthly payment is, right? Everybody knows what their rent is. Everybody knows that. So when you can make it simplified and relatable in terms that they understand, it's going to make the process a whole lot easier for them and for you. Okay. So, I would let them know, look, you can get own a home with another bedroom, have way more square footage, and it's yours for $50 more a month. And before they knew it, they were walking out of a closing office. And let me tell you, I was closing one a week. So, just simply doing that one strategy, and I did it for many years. Okay. So, this is exactly, and you can do this in today's market. You can do this in any market. It doesn't matter. But in any case, I would, promote this property and then I would ask them that same question. Why are you not buying? Half of them probably don't know they can qualify. So I'm going to run the pre-qual with my lender, see if they can qualify. If it's USDA, great. But kind of see their options with that. And then we might go and buy the house, right? Or if, maybe they are new to the area and they're still trying to kind of figure out if they like the area, where they want to live, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we just go ahead and rent the property to them. Maybe they have some credit stuff that they need to figure out. Maybe whatever, right? Maybe they just started a new job. It doesn't matter. But whatever the case is, they need to rent a house. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and rent the house. I'm still going to make a commission. I'm going to make the first month's rent typically, depending on what the commission is. But now, most importantly, they're in my bubble, right? So they're in my bubble as a tenant and a future buyer. I'm going to tell you now, some of my renters are still to this day some of my most loyal clients. They have bought many, many properties from me and sold many, many properties for me, and they started by being a renter and leasing a home. So, I'm going to reach out to them a few months before their lease expires and say, all right, what's our next step? Do we want to start looking to buy a home? Sometimes, you can negotiate with the landlord, and maybe the landlord wants to sell the current home, and work that whole transaction, and everybody's happy and everybody wins, right? So there's many, many different strategies you can use, but rentals can really, really be a good one, especially if you've got good, decent rentals in your market. It can really, really work. So we've gone over the five, right? We these are solutions that you can use in your business to maybe capture some of those past leads, get them back in, help your current leads, or lead generate future leads. In any case, that's what we do. We have to show up as rockstar real estate agents, provide solutions to help them reach their real estate goals so that we can reach our goals and we can keep our business moving, right? That's what we do. So I hope this one was really, really helpful for you. If you have any help, if you need any help, or if you have any other ideas about things that I might can create for you that would help you, just let me know in the comments. And that's, what I want to do. So I want to help you the best way I can. I look forward to it. And there's nothing left for us to do but get out there and let's get it. I will see you in on the next one. See you soon.